Your life can change in an instant. A single event or a series of them can leave an imprint that goes far deeper than memory. This is the nature of psychological trauma. It's not just a story you tell, it's a biological state that reshapes the very architecture of your brain. Understanding these changes is the first crucial step toward regaining control. It removes the mystery and replaces it with a clear, science-based roadmap for healing. When you know what is happening inside your own neural circuitry, you are no longer a passive passenger. You become an active participant in your own recovery, equipped with knowledge that empowers you to make targeted, effective changes. This is not about blame or weakness, it is about biology. After a traumatic experience, the brain's primary directive shifts from thriving to surviving. The most immediate and noticeable change often occurs in the amygdala. This threat detection system becomes hypersensitive and hyperreactive. It learns from the traumatic event that the world is a profoundly dangerous place, and it recalibrates its threshold for what it considers a threat. As a result, the amygdala can begin to fire in response to stimuli that are neutral or only vaguely related to the original trauma. A car backfiring might sound like a gunshot. A crowded room might feel overwhelmingly menacing. This state of constant, low-level alert is known as hypervigilance, and it is exhausting. This overactivation of the amygdala is not a conscious choice. It is a deeply ingrained, reflexive adaptation. Your brain is trying to protect you by ensuring you are never caught off guard again. The problem is that this protection comes at an immense cost to your quality of life. Living with an overactive amygdala means your body is frequently flooded with stress hormones, even in situations that are objectively safe. Elevated heart rate, muscle tension, digestive issues, shallow breathing. Sleep is often severely disrupted because the brain's alarm system refuses to power down. It becomes difficult to fall asleep or stay asleep, as any small noise or shift can be interpreted as a potential threat, jolting you awake. This lack of restorative sleep further degrades your ability to regulate your emotions and think clearly, creating a vicious cycle that reinforces the state of high alert. While the amygdala is sounding a constant alarm, the hippocampus is struggling to do its job as the brain's memory manager. During a traumatic event, the intense flood of stress hormones, particularly cortisol, can directly impair hippocampal function. Its ability to properly encode the memory, to log the who, what, where, when, is disrupted. As a result, the traumatic memory is often stored in a disorganized and fragmented way. It lacks a proper timestamp. This is why a core feature of post-traumatic stress is the feeling that the past is not truly in the past. The memory isn't filed away neatly in the archives. It's left out on the desktop, ready to be reopened at any moment. This failure of contextualization is what gives rise to flashbacks and intrusive memories. A sensory trigger, a specific smell, a sound, a certain quality of light, can pull the fragmented memory into your present awareness without warning. Because the hippocampus failed to anchor the event in time, the brain can't distinguish the memory of the threat from an actual current threat. You don't just remember the event, you re-experience it. Your body reacts as if the trauma is happening all over again, with the same terror, the same pounding heart, and the same surge of adrenaline. This is not a failure of willpower, it is a neurological artifact of how the memory was originally encoded under extreme duress. The long-term effects of chronic stress on the hippocampus can be even more severe. Sustained high levels of cortisol are neurotoxic to this brain region, meaning they can actually damage and shrink it. A smaller, less effective hippocampus has broader implications for your cognitive function. The third critical player in this circuit, the prefrontal cortex, is effectively taken offline during and after a traumatic experience. Think of the prefrontal cortex as the captain of the ship, responsible for steering with logic and reason. When the amygdala screams, "Iceberg, dead ahead," the captain looks through the binoculars, assesses the actual risk, and gives calm, deliberate orders. However, intense stress signals from the hyperactive amygdala can sever communication lines to the prefrontal cortex. The brain shifts into a primitive, reflexive survival mode, prioritizing speed over thoughtful analysis. The captain is locked out of the control room. Weakened top-down control from the prefrontal cortex is a hallmark of the traumatized brain. It's why calming down or thinking rationally when triggered is so hard. Neural pathways that let the prefrontal cortex apply the brakes on the amygdala become less effective. You're left at the mercy of emotional reactions. This can manifest as emotional dysregulation, sudden bouts of anger, overwhelming sadness, periods of feeling completely numb and disconnected. Without the prefrontal cortex's moderating influence, emotions can feel like tidal waves, leaving you out of control and exhausted. The impact goes beyond emotions. This region is essential for executive functions: concentration, planning, decision-making, impulse control. When diminished, you may struggle to focus on a task, make simple decisions, or follow through on plans. Creative problem-solving is hampered because your brain is stuck in a threat-focused mindset. This impairs work or school performance and makes daily life feel unmanageable. It's another layer of trauma's hidden toll. The most powerful concept in modern neuroscience is that of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and rewire itself based on experience. While trauma can wire the brain for survival and fear, you can intentionally use specific tools and practices to rewire it for safety and recovery. These are not quick fixes, but consistent application of these methods can create real, structural changes in your neural circuits. The first and most accessible tool is deliberate breathing. Specifically, practices that emphasize a prolonged exhale, such as a physiological sigh, a double inhale through the nose followed by a long, full exhale through the mouth, directly activate the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your body's rest and digest system, and it acts as a direct brake on the amygdala's fight or flight response, signaling to your brain that you are safe. Another powerful bottom-up tool is grounding through the senses. When you are caught in a flashback or a wave of anxiety, your mind is lost in the past. Grounding techniques pull your attention firmly into the present moment and physical environment. 5 things you can see. 4 things you can feel. The texture of your chair, the air on your skin. 3 things you can hear. 2 things you can smell. 1 thing you can taste. This practice forces your brain to process current sensory input, which interrupts the trauma loop and helps prove to your amygdala that you are not in danger right now. It is a way of manually reorienting your brain to the safety of the present. Movement and physical exercise are also non-negotiable for healing. Walking, running, swimming. Movement helps to metabolize the excess stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, that are circulating in your body. It also boosts the production of mood-enhancing neurochemicals, such as endorphins and brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is like a fertilizer for your brain cells. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor specifically supports the health and growth of the hippocampus, directly counteracting the damaging effects of chronic stress. Consistent physical activity helps regulate your nervous system and improve sleep quality, which is critical for memory consolidation and emotional processing. Finally, the process of memory reconsolidation offers a targeted way to update traumatic memories. Science shows that each time a memory is recalled, it becomes temporarily malleable for a few hours before it is stored again. This window provides an opportunity to change the emotional charge associated with the memory. The journey of healing from trauma is a process of actively reshaping your brain. It is a testament to the profound resilience of your own biology. The changes trauma created were an adaptation for survival, but they are not a permanent sentence. Through deliberate science-based practices, you can guide your brain toward a new adaptation: safety, regulation, wholeness. This path requires patience and consistency. Every small step you take reinforces the neural pathways of recovery. The goal is not to erase the past, but to integrate it so it no longer controls your present or dictates your future. This is entirely possible. Building a foundation for recovery means prioritizing physiological well-being. Sleep is paramount. During deep sleep, your brain clears metabolic waste and processes emotional experiences and consolidates memories. Establishing a strict sleep routine is not an indulgence. It is core to neurological repair. Going to bed and waking up at the same time, avoiding screens before bed, creating a cool, dark, quiet environment, create a network of safe social connections. Positive, supportive relationships trigger oxytocin and promote bonding and safety, counteracting fear signals from the amygdala. Professional therapeutic support offers a structured, safe environment. Cognitive behavioral therapy helps identify and reframe negative thought patterns. That strengthens top-down control from the prefrontal cortex. Somatic therapies focus on bodily sensations. They help release physical tension where trauma is stored and teach regulation. Finding the right therapist and modality is a key step. It gives you a secure base to explore memories and build coping skills without becoming overwhelmed.